Hey there everybody, Scott Goldbaum here with Fender Play, and today we're gonna teach you how to really fret bar chords. Some tips that are often overlooked and not mentioned that I think are gonna go a really long way if you find yourself struggling a little bit or overthinking how to make this shape every time you encounter an essential bar chord. So I hope you find this helpful. Before we get started, I wanna talk briefly about Fender Play. It's the quickest way to learn how to play guitar, bass, and ukulele. A complete learning platform designed to make you a better player, and when you sign up, you get access to over 3,000 lessons that you can take on your own schedule and at your own pace. In the meantime, let's jump into this. The first thing I want to talk about, it seems as though the one thing that teachers and textbooks don't often tell you to do is to start with a major bar chord or a minor bar chord that's kind of in the center of the neck. Too often I see students and new players start with the F chord. And that's great in a lot of ways in that it's featured in a lot of songs and it's adjacent to a lot of chords that we already know that pair really nicely with the F chord. But the frets are furthest apart as you get closer and closer to the nut. And when you're in more of like a centered area of the fretboard where we interact, with lead lines and chords all the time, the frets are a little closer together. So it's a little bit more accessible, and by all means, you'll consider yourself a more of a candidate to play bar chords if you start there. So step one, we're not gonna focus on an F major bar chord. We're gonna focus in 5th position with an A major bar chord. The frets are closer together, easier to reach. Okay, so starting with the A major bar chord, let's look at the components of a bar chord. 2 things. You have the bar and then everything else. Everything else we're gonna refer to as the shape, okay? And the biggest tip I can give you is to, whenever you're making a bar chord, place the shape down first and then the bar down last for more of a natural curve in the hand. If you're new to this shape, let's walk you through it for a second. With the A major bar chord, we start with the shape. Ring finger at the 7th fret of the A string, your pinky at the 7th fret of the D string, your middle finger at the 6th fret of the G string, and once that's there, be mindful of what your thumb's doing. Maybe the center, drop your wrist a little bit, and then bring the bar down right here. Now, furthermore, what's really important is when you're barring, don't just use the pad of your finger. Take full advantage of the bonier part of your finger on the side. That's gonna be a little bit tougher, and it takes a lot of the pressure off you to have to push down extra hard to produce this sound. If you have an acoustic guitar and an electric guitar, try this out on an electric guitar first. It's a little bit easier on the hands, but if you can practice this on an acoustic guitar, that's great. You're gonna be building calluses faster, maybe a little bit more challenging at first, but it's good practice either way. So again, with your ring finger at the 7th fret of the A string, your pinky at the 7th fret of the D, and your middle finger on the 6th fret of the G, you now have the shape and you're now ready to lay down the bar. Now in this lesson, we're just gonna look at major and minor bar chords that are built on the low E string, and hopefully these tips will help you. You can apply them all over the place. But again, whenever you have any sort of bar chord, make sure you're putting the arched shape down first and then flattening out with the bar, and your hand will curve more naturally. And you can always warm up with this on like an A major bar chord. Let's check out that A major shape one more time. You've got your ring finger on the 7th fret of your A string, arching your pinky on the 7th fret of the D string, your middle finger arching on the 6th fret of the G, and then we're gonna go ahead and flatten out with the bar, our finger, use the side, the bonier part for a little bit more help with the pressure. And there's your A major chord. Now, the next practice tip I can give you is once you've locked in this shape, let's try it at different parts on the neck. So you've got the A major here. We can work our way down to what is too often taught as the first bar chord, the F major, by taking it 2 frets at a time, from A major to G major. You may find that you have to reach a little bit further. Okay, then from G major to F major. And don't be surprised if it sounds like this at first. Just a little bit muted, that's a rite of passage. And again, as you continue to push down, start with the shape and then the bar. Too often, our eyes wanna see that bar go down first, that we see the general position we're in, and then we build the shape one at a time. That's a lot harder and it causes some weird wrist angles. So once you've done it with the A major shape, maybe 4 strums there, to the G major shape in 3rd position, 4 strums there, to the F major shape in 1st position, climb back up to the G major shape, and then let's try switching it up. Let's try doing the minor versions of those shapes. So just 2 fingers here for the shape. You're lifting the middle finger, and you've made your way to the G minor now. Same shape, just reach a little bit further between the bar and the shape for the F minor, take it back up to the G minor, and then finally let's mix it up a little bit. What we can do is take the A minor to the G major, to the F major. that back up to the G major. This is a nice template for you to practice all the tips that I'm giving you to maximize the effortlessness of you playing these bar chords. Now check out Fender Play's Raise the Bar collection. It's our vast song library to apply your newly learned bar chords. Remember that Fender Play is the best online platform for learning guitar or bass or ukulele, and it really is designed with you in mind to make you a better player on your own schedule and on your own time. I hope this was really helpful. Check out Fender Play and I'll see you for more next time.